Have you ever driven in a car? Have you ever turned a light on in your house? Have you ever turned on a computer, charged a phone or an iPad? Well then, you guys have used fuel. And fuel is going to be the topic of today's show. Hi guys, my name is Dr. Shaz, the scientist with pizzazz. And today's show is going to be explosive, because today we're going to be talking about fossil fuels. Now, fuels, right, let's start from the beginning. A fuel is a material. There's a whole heap of them. Coal, gas, oil. The thing that makes these materials fuel is that they can be combusted or burned to create power or heat. Now, here in Australia, when we talk about power, most of you guys will be thinking about electricity, the power that we use every time we turn on a power point. Now that electricity has to come from a source. It needs to be transformed into electricity. Here in Australia, most of our electricity is transformed into electricity from coal. And coal is a fossil fuel. It's like this black rock that we dig out of the ground. Now, you might have heard of fossil fuels. They sound really scary. A lot of adults don't want to be using them anymore. But what are they? A fossil fuel is a general term for a buried, combustible, geological deposit of organic material formed from decaying plants and animals that have been converted to crude oil, natural gas, or heavy oils by exposure to the pressure and heat from the Earth's crust over millions of years. Essentially, it's fuel that comes from dead dinosaurs. Now, millions and millions and millions of years ago, there were these giant beasts roaming around the Earth. Dinosaurs, right? Dinosaurs were full of organic matter, just like you and me are today. When those dinosaurs died, they fell to the ground, and over time, we're talking another millions of years, their bodies were buried from layers and layers of sediment. Now, sometimes these dinosaurs died in the oceans, sometimes they died on land. It doesn't matter. As long as they were buried, they could become fossilized and turn into fossil fuels. Now, over millions and millions of years, that fossilization, so that's the heat and pressure pushing down against those dead dinosaurs, eventually transformed their organic matter into fuels, into coal, which is the hard black rock, into oil, a liquid. Either way, all of those materials have a really high rich of bonds, which when we combust, it releases the energy, and we can do some pretty cool things with it. So whenever we are using a fossil fuel, most of the time, we're blowing things up. We're combusting it to release the chemical energy inside those bonds and transforming it into electricity, movement, heat, all kinds of amazing things that we need in order to live. Now, I just want to show you how amazing fossil fuels actually are. I've got a really common form of fossil fuel right here. It's actually in a can. So this here, guys, this is a can of dead dinosaurs. This is a fuel source called butane. And butane is amazing, really. It's really, really potent. In fact, this syringe here is full of butane. Check out what happens when I put that butane through some heat when I combust it. Now, safety first. I'm going to need a pair of glasses here. I'm also going to need a heat source, so that is a lighter. Check this out. In 3, 2, 1. Did you see that?